If you work in any kind of creative or tech job right now, you definitely know this feeling. It seems like a new AI tool drops every single week. And with it comes this intense pressure to learn it, master it, and, somehow jam it into your workflow. But this constant churn, it's more than just exhausting. It's creating a kind of hidden crisis. So, let's really break down what's happening here.
Look, the anxiety that we're all feeling, it's not really about falling behind. It's about something much more specific. It's this compounding cost that is quietly draining our energy and our productivity. This is the real risk we've got to put a name to, and then figure out how to fight back.
And this quote just, wow, it hits home, right? We're adding more and more power, more tools to our toolkit, but somehow we feel more drained than ever before. This huge gap between what we can do and how exhausted we feel, that's the central problem we're going to unpack.
So let's give this bad guy a name: learning debt. You should really think of it just like financial debt. At first, a new tool feels like a quick win. It's like taking out a little productivity loan. But pretty soon, the interest payments start to pile up. The updates, the little tweaks, the mental space it takes up, it all just grows and grows until it's totally overwhelming.
This is exactly how that learning debt just snowballs out of control. See, every single new tool you adopt adds a new habit to your daily routine. And every one of those habits needs constant maintenance. We're talking updates, tweaks, quality checks, you name it. And before you know it, all that maintenance work is growing way faster than any productivity gains you're getting. So we start to feel burnt out, but we call it professionalism, right? We tell ourselves, hey, this is just the cost of staying on top of your game. But it's not. It's a debt, and that debt is coming due.
And this right here just nails the core issue. We are installing all this new software, all these new apps, but we're doing it on a computer that never gets its core operating system upgraded. And that operating system, that's us. It's our methods, our principles, our frameworks for making decisions. The system is just getting overloaded, and it's absolutely bound to crash.
So, what do? How do we fix this whole mess? Well, we need a completely new way of thinking about it. We have to stop acting like a tool's apprentice, just desperately trying to master every little thing that comes along. It's time to start thinking like a fund manager, strategically managing a portfolio of tools.
This comparison changes everything. That old mindset on the left, I have to master everything, is just a recipe for burnout. The new mindset on the right is all about control and strategy. Your value isn't about how many tools you know. The real skill is your system for choosing them, using them, and knowing when to get rid of them.
This is the one question you have to ask for every single tool you even think about using. Seriously, if your favorite app, Figma, Midjourney, ChatGPT, whatever, if it just vanished tomorrow, what would you have left? What skills, what assets, what principles would you still own? That is your real, lasting advantage. So the big question is, how do we actually build that?
Well, you start by classifying every tool into one of 4 buckets. First up, you've got wrappers. These are the shiny, trendy tools that pop up and disappear just as fast. The strategy here is super simple. Sample them. Spend an hour, maybe 2. See what they do, but do not invest deeply. Next are workflow tools. These are the ones that connect your team. You only go deep on these once your team decides, okay, this is our standard. And finally, you have asset and principle tools. Now this is where you should be investing most of your time because they help you build things, templates, rubrics, methods that are totally independent of any one piece of software.
And this right here is the trap that almost everyone falls into. We spend hundreds of hours mastering some shiny new wrapper tool that's going to be totally obsolete in 6 months, and we completely neglect the timeless principles that could serve us for our entire careers. We cannot confuse what's new with what's valuable.
Okay, so now we have our portfolio categories. The next step is to get a really disciplined system for managing what goes in and, just as important, what comes out. This is where we stop talking theory and get into a clear, actionable game plan. Before you even think about adopting a new tool, you have to make it pass through these 3 gates. Gate number 1, bottleneck fit. Does this thing solve a real, actual top 3 problem you have right now, not some problem you might have someday? Gate 2, portability. If you decide to switch tools later, can you take your work, your templates, your assets with you? You have to avoid getting locked in. And Gate 3, workflow safety. Is there a real professional process around it for things like review, approval, and logging?
And let's be absolutely crystal clear about this. If a tool fails even one of these checks, you are not gaining an asset. You are willingly taking on future learning debt, a debt that you'll have to pay back with your own time and your own energy.
Adopting tools is only half the battle. A great portfolio manager is just as good at knowing when to sell.
So how do you know when it's time to cut a tool loose from your workflow without getting emotional about it? You need what we'll call a tool kill switch. It's a set of triggers for a cold, calculated decision. And the rule is simple. If 2 or more of these things become true, it's time to drop the tool. So ask yourself, is the time I'm spending on QA and rework more than the time I'm actually producing with it? Is it causing these endless rework loops? Is it obvious my team is never going to standardize on this thing? Can I not get my assets out of it? If you answer yes to a couple of those, then that tool is costing you way more than it's worth.
Okay, this all brings us to the single most important takeaway from this entire breakdown. After all this talk about tools, we're about to reveal where your true, lasting, professional power actually comes from.
Just let that sink in for a second. All the things we're chasing, learning, and stressing out about, they are fundamentally disposable. They're temporary.
But there's something that you build that is permanent. It's something that sits on top of all the tools. This is what we call your upper layer. The tools themselves are just interchangeable parts that you plug into your system. It's the system itself, your upper layer. That's where your unique, your defensible, and your portable value is actually created.
So what is this upper layer exactly? Think of it as your personal intellectual property. It's those meticulously crafted prompt templates you can use with any AI model. It's the robust quality rubrics that guarantee a great result no matter how it was generated. It's the style guides and the decision-making rules that reflect your unique expertise. This is the stuff you should be obsessed with building.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Take a good, hard look at where you're spending your time and energy. Are you endlessly chasing disposable tools, or are you deliberately and carefully building that permanent upper layer? Because in the end, that's the only portfolio that truly matters.